Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching 13 Reasons Why. This is episode 6 of season 3. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. And last episode was very interesting. It was well, heavily focused on Bryce. Obviously he's dead, but I mean, like, Bryce's backstory. We had a decent one with Alex and another one with Monte, which I never expected, which we will get into. You know what, we'll start here with Monte. So he was scared obviously at the start of the episode because the police have found steroids in Bryce's car. Now obviously they come to the school and they're doing a sweep of all of the lockers, and they've gone into obviously the baseball teams first, and they're checking everywhere. Everyone's panicking. We've seen Monte take them, you know, last season and the one before with Bryce. You know, he was injecting it in his bum and that, and you know, you're not supposed to be doing that. And obviously the police are trying to clamp down on it and see who's been using, and they ended up finding a guy. It wasn't actually Monte, even though, like I said, he looked really paranoid. And then this guy obviously was getting interviewed and asked like where he gets his drugs from and is he dealing and all that stuff, and he said he didn't get it from Bryce, he got it from somewhere else. And then we also seen Alex. He went to his locker, he was panicking as well. He ended up throwing like a red little case into the trash, and who went over Justin, he picked it up, he checked what's inside, and he's been taking steroids. So you're trying to think, yo, what's going on here with Alex? Like, why is he taking them? And then we got an interesting backstory with Tyler, with Alex, where basically he started going to the gym. He wanted to try and work out. You know, he was there with Zach. This guy who was first took from the police, who was found in the locker room, come up to him and said, look mate, if you need a little bit of help, you need a little bit of kick, you know, I've got something, come and see me after your session and I can hook you up. And that's what he started doing. He was buying it off this dude. Now obviously he started to get stronger, he was enjoying it, and then obviously Bryce come over, he found out, and he was saying, look mate, you know, instead of buying it off this guy, buy it off me, I can give it you cheaper, we give your friends and family discount. And they started to kind of like get a little bit of friendship going. Obviously, like, we know that Alex over the past 2 seasons has really hated Bryce and everything that he's done to Jess, who he's madly in love with. But on his little side bit, you know, he was using him for his own kind of personal gain. But we also seen them kind of hanging out together, taking a bit of drugs, you know. He expressed that he's not really had sex with someone for ages. Bryce took him to an escort, which he seemed like he returned to it a few times. And then obviously they decided to go and pretty much ruin his dad's new house, Bryce's. You know, he was saying that his dad's moved into a neighborhood, he's you know, he's not bothered to call, and he deserves to obviously pretty much get robbed. He was saying that it's not robbing really when it's my house and I've got you know, like I've got permission to go there. And he went inside and he was trashing everywhere, and he picked up these swords and he was like dancing around, cutting up all the sofas and that. And then they seen a little kid stood at the bottom of the stairs, and it was the wrong house. Bryce ran over to him and he was like, you better be quiet, otherwise we'll come back and we'll kill you. You know, he was trying to just protect his own ass pretty much, really. And then they both ran off, and Alex was fuming at that. You know, he wasn't happy that I obviously threatened that little kid, and that is where their kind of friendship ended. He no longer had the friends and family discount. He was paying out his ass for these steroids. And you know, very interesting stuff going on. Speaking about, like I said, Monte earlier, we had one with him and Bryce where he was invited to a Hillcrest party and they both went there. You know, Clay and Arnie, they was trying to figure out what's going on with Monty in the present. Do you know what I mean? They did find that little baton in the back of his car. We got a story about that. He went to his house, seen him, they was fighting with his dad. Looked like he was going to hit him as well. He seen them, he come over, and he expressed that the blood on it's his and his dad's, and obviously, you know, he's a drunk. Now they went to this party hopefully to relieve some stress from Monte, and as he was there, you know, you could see that he was sticking out like a sore thumb. Everyone's rich, not that he's not, and stuff, but like you could see that he had his back up. He was kind of like stiff walking around. He went upstairs to go to the toilet. He walked in the room, there was a guy there. The guy ended up locking the door, and then they ended up making out randomly, and then the guy ended up going down on Monte, which obviously he didn't refuse. And then as he was leaving, that dude, the same one, said, yo, we should hang out sometime. Do you know what I mean, to Monte, which ended up triggering him in standard Monte fashion. Ended up scrapping. Bryce had to grab everybody and drag him and put him into the car. So I mean, what an interesting episode. Honestly, I thought it was really good. Never expected the storyline with Alex, and I never expected the storyline with Monte. Still don't like him, but I still thought it was interesting, and I definitely didn't expect it. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Oh, Tony's been brought in.
¿Qué? ¿Nada que decir?
Did he just say something in Spanish? I didn't even hear what he said.
We all have secrets that we carry with us, and the more we carry, the heavier the load.
So you went to the same school, knew some of the same people, but your paths never crossed.
Our paths crossed in the halls, but he wasn't my friend.
Isn't it? Any young life taken like that? That's sad, don't you think?
It isn't the greatest sadness.
I was gonna say that it's sad for him, but like for you, it's nothing.
In some families, secrets build up over years.
It's okay to love the things about him you loved. You can tell whatever truth that you want to.
I said that about
Grief
Justin,
makes
didn't I?
us behave in ways we might not expect.
I told you not to even look at me today, let alone text. I'm speaking to Mrs. Walker and my mum.
We have to talk about the Mustang.
I'm 99% positive it's his.
Caleb's not answering texts or calls. The garage is closed. We'll go by his house later. It's not Tony's car.
Discuss it later.
I ran to a friend on my way to the restroom.
And I see you never made it to the restroom.
Do you know what, right? What they were saying on the stairs there, Clay said that, look, mate, you know, he's withheld information, but he's never actually lied. And we've had this debate on many shows on the channel that holding information is not the same as lying. It's not. Lying is when somebody asks you a question and you give them a false answer. Yeah, lying is not knowing something and not telling somebody it. It's a totally different thing. It is totally, totally different. And I do respect what he's just said there because I agree with it. So, I don't know if Tony's telling the truth that he sold it to somebody in Arizona, but it would be interesting that if he did sell it to somebody in Arizona and they bought it back, which coincidentally, that'll be well random. So, I'll go with he probably did sell it to Bryce or something. He's rich and he's probably doing it in a way of like giving him a lot of money, but also kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like an alpha thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you need money and I could buy your car. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would kind of seem something that Bryce would do, but who knows, mate? Let's see if we find out.
Look at him. Like it's a goddamn wedding.
Roll me money. All right, thank you. This is Katya. Katya. It's my son, Bryce. I think your mom...
Listen, if you're in town for a few days, you know, we haven't been to the club in forever.
Unfortunately, I'm headed to Dubai tomorrow.
I thought we were meeting with the decorator at the house.
Oh, you got a new house? That's great.
This great new modern they just built on Cosgrove.
We thought it might be good to get a property in town.
Sure.
The wait's too long, Bryce. Let's go to Shea Michelli.
It
Bryce
was as
handled
if
that really
Mr.
well.
Walker had tried to erase Bryce from his life.
How many drinks have you had this morning?
Get off my ass.
You're burying your son today.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about the money, Mom. It's about making you pay for leaving. As soon as he signs, he can't do that anymore.
You never treated Barry with the proper respect. You were taught better than that.
By the way you treated Mom?
Listen to me, you selfish...
That is enough! You do not speak to my mother that way. Ever again, or I swear to God, I will roll you out into the street and you can crawl your way back into this house.
I just left him there, mate. Walked off and just left him sat there.
Clay couldn't accept the idea that maybe Tony killed Bryce. He was doing anything he could to find another suspect.
You know, he just like abandoned Bryce.
I didn't know that.
It's his son's funeral.
You would know from looking at him.
I want to know why Clay thinks that he has to do a police's job. Do you know what I mean? And find out who the killer is.
Did you talk to Zach?
That asshole hated Bryce. I don't know why he's talking.
Same guy who was nice to you is the same guy someone wanted dead.
I may not know this, Tony, but whenever there's a murder involving a vehicle, we pull that vehicle apart piece by piece.
I guess he brought his car into the shop.
Yeah, but you said you didn't have any contact with him.
Maybe Javier dealt with him.
Well, we can bring Javier in. Of course, that would mean a complete check of his legal status.
I think I'd like to see a lawyer now.
It's always about the wording. Even if you are totally innocent, yeah, if you say something not correct, they'll pounce on you and try and make it look a different way.
I didn't always agree with Bryce, but I wonder sometimes if all we are is the sum of our actions. There was a time where I called Bryce Walker my brother, and whether I like it or not, I am my brother's keeper.
Mother always sees the little boy inside the man. So there is a Bryce I wish you all had known. He was capable of hurtful things, and he was capable of deep love. And there were moments in these last months where I saw not only the little boy, the good man he might become.
I agree with what she was saying there, that Bryce is growing. Yeah, I think this season, he's not had a bad season whatsoever. Actually, he's not even done anything that I dislike this season. Now, like I say, mate, I'm not a Bryce fan. I think that he deserves everything that was coming to him from season 1 and 2. But you can't, like, not acknowledge a character progression and, like, change in attitude. And I think that I've visually seen that this season. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually has taken him out, because he's got to have done something to piss somebody off this season for them to act out and attack him. Because if it was for something that they done season 1 and 2, then the timing's just off, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you let it go a year ahead or whatever it is and then attack him then, after he's moved schools and all that? You would think that if you were so angry and you wanted to get him, it would have been at that time, you know, when he wasn't convicted and when they won the case. That would be the prime time to go after him. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I also agree that although you can end up disliking Bryce, you can also like Bryce at the same time, parts of his personality. So like when Justin was arguing with Clay on the field, yeah, he was saying, look mate, you know, I might hate him at the end and everything that he's done and the decisions that he made, but up until 2 years ago, I loved every single thing about him. We literally grew up together. He was there for me. When no one else was, he was. He gave me shoes, give me clothes, you know, he gave me a roof over the head, food on the table, never asked for anything in return. He was always there helping me study financially. I love him, but yes, there's a little side of him that I fucking absolutely hate, and that's now outweighed, you know, the bad's outweighed the good, but I'll never forget all the good things that he done for me. And it's kind of what Zach was saying as well, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll never forgive what he's done and don't agree with his choices, but at one point he was my brother, and like, you know, I'm sorry to what's happened to him. And what Tony said at the start of the episode when the policeman, you know, his dad asked him, mate, yeah, kid's died, that's sad, isn't it? You got to feel upset for him. Well, yeah, it is sad, but am I upset? No. And like, that's not even savage. Like, if somebody that I know at my work died, not that I wouldn't care, but what, I'm going to be sad? No, I'm not going to be sad. It's just a random person that I probably never, I see them in work walking past, but I have no relationship with them. I have no, like, you know, nothing in common, don't speak to them. I just know them, like, the name, that's it. So would I feel sorry for them that they've died? Yeah, I would. Like, you know, like Tony's saying with Bryce, it's upsetting. But, like, does it impact his life? No, it doesn't, because they got no connection, you know what I mean? Like, no friendship, nothing. So, I liked what, like, all of them have said so far this episode.
Need a hand? Well, this is a very enthusiastic color.
You know, I asked your grandfather to paint these walls when I was a kid. I wanted a lime green base with dark green circles. I came home one day, walked in, and he painted the walls of that.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Didn't like it anyway. Yeah.
And the ceiling. No, the ceiling we paint sky blue.
Oh.
We loved him.
Bryce Walker was a rapist. Believe survivor.
Hey, get that sign down. Where the hell are the police?
You can't blame the police there. You would have no idea who'd stand up.
He was drunk and he was angry.
And you're telling me you've never seen him like that?
God damn it, you little shit. You just let him run wild. You let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
What are you talking about?
I come home last night, I find a broken window, my alarm going off, the house turned upside down.
Bryce.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. I went to the wrong house first a few weeks ago. And we were lucky enough to run into Dad and Katrina.
Fucked with me enough in this lifetime.
All right. Well, why don't you just take me to court then? And I'll tell the judge about Caitlin.
He's got him by the balls here somehow.
Is your nuclear option. Wouldn't matter if Dad had signed the divorce papers, but he decided to risk it.
How deep were the Walker family secret? And just how much was Mr. Walker hiding?
Do you mind if I steal Clay? We've got a project.
I should probably say.
I'm good alone.
To find those divorce papers. If Bryce knew about a mystery.
They're both stinking rich. Money wouldn't be motive.
So why is he going trying to find the divorce papers? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting too involved.
Hey.
Flowers, I guess they're not up here, after all.
Right, well, I'm just gonna keep looking for the bathroom.
That's a dream, innit? Too many rooms, don't know where places are.
Was that his plan all along? To replace me?
Took what he wanted when he wanted it. And the rest of us are collateral damage. Maybe it's time to just stop letting his whims rule our lives.
Mr. Walker had abandoned his son and tried to hide an illegitimate daughter, while Tony's secret was still safely locked away.
There's got to be a good explanation for this.
Tony's not done it, and his dad's not done it either, I don't think. Where's this that he's looking?
Can I help you?
No, I'm looking for Tony Padilla. I'm looking for him. I'm a good friend of his.
A good friend, huh? Doesn't know
Don't know where he lives. I knew he was going to say that. It's such an easy counter.
So
like,
they're all alone.
My mom's gonna love you.
She is. She's gonna love you. My brothers, they'll try and scare you, but you can take any of them and they know it. Mama, Papa, están aquí.
Maybe they went to the store.
No, something's wrong. They left everything on.
Yo, that is random, that, isn't it?
Y gracias.
Estaba en nuestra casa con Yasmin. Está bien. Sigue ahí.
You just said 2 minutes took him tonight.
Family, they're gone.
Oh, they're in prison.
Papá, ¿dónde estás? Están todos juntos. Graciela se está quedando con Alejandro hasta que nos pueda mandar a tío Tomás en Arizona.
Yo, where are the subtitles, man? Like, I'm not Spanish.
I'll be strong. I'll be strong for everyone. I promise. Lo prometo, Papa.
Oh, he's getting deported.
I was able to sell everything that I could. I tried to give Alejandro some money for taking care of Graciela, but he wouldn't take it. We can't move in together because I'm in trouble.
How about because we love each other? Because we want to live a life together. Yeah.
Support through thick and thin. That's how you know
Your
it.
life is my life.
There's no way you'd let him go and sleep in the office, or would you? in the auto shop.
He told me his dad was struggling, that the garage needed help. I just took his word for it. I'm a terrible friend.
You'll text us as soon as he's out.
If you promise not to come running, because he's gonna kill me.
We promise. Absolutely.
Clay says they made some connection with Bryce. You don't think he could, right?
I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I mean, he does lose it sometimes.
And when your girls broke up the
I
funeral,
didn't want them to do that, Justin.
Jess, I know. It just felt like everyone was shitting on him, and I could feel myself wanting to stand up for him.
Don't hate yourself. I get it.
Fuck, I'm such an asshole.
So I like that scene there, mate, because obviously, like, she was the victim of Bryce, and all that chaos happened because he done something to her. But she's being sympathetic for somebody that she knows in front of her who liked Bryce for most of his life, and instead of just being totally one-sided, she's being supportive, even though most of this happened because she was attacked. Do you know what I mean? I really like that scene from Jessica, I actually do. And she said that she didn't want the girls to do that thing, which I do totally believe, because we didn't even see her at the funeral. They were, and she kind of like said no to it the episode before as well. So I actually really do like that scene, and it's making me happy now that they kind of maybe dropping it in a little bit closer to home, where they're saying maybe it's someone we know that's killed him. I'm hoping so, mate. I am hoping so. I'm hoping it's not some rando. I want it to be somebody that we actually have seen quite consistently or reoccurring in the 3 seasons.
Can your mom drive me home?
Let's get in the ring.
First of all, you're not supposed to.
Fuck that. I'll be fine.
Tony's grief for his family took on many forms. Shame, anger, fear.
Did you go to the funeral yesterday? Still saying that someone killed him.
Burns me up, you know?
Yeah, man. You loved him.
Jesus, I didn't. Why do people keep saying that? Holy shit, they arrested Tony Padilla?
What the hell?
Shit, for Bryce? What? You were gonna keep that a secret, Zachy?
Tony didn't do anything. Be better, shut your mouth, and listen. You got 5 days to learn an offense.
Oh, I didn't think about your bad leg, how it can't really pivot.
Fine, let's go.
I don't think
Dude, come on, don't be a pussy.
Right, it's good that he said it can actually take some knocks, you know what I mean? I was worried that, you know, like it'd proper doom in.
Look, come on, we deserve an explanation.
You got one, and I don't know why you think you deserved it.
Because we're friends. I thought we were.
I'm sorry, can I help you with something?
Yeah, busted tail light. You do fix cars here, right?
Navigado's down the road.
If they're closed, you're open.
My dad's not around very much.
Well, I hear that.
I'll have it ready for you tomorrow.
Tony agreed to help him out. He'd regret it later.
Uber's good to go, man. Javi will ring you up front.
I wanted to give you this myself.
This is for 50. The car's 25.
You don't sell that car unless you need the money.
Bryce was trying to make amends.
He was? I said that he's had an alright season.
And Tony learned just how much he had to make amends for.
Arturo and Rosa Padilla came to this country in
1999.
And we have 5 children. Look at how good we look. Right? No matter what may come, is one person in the mirror or all of us. We remember how good we are.
Oh, this is an interesting storyline that we've only just got this episode. I like it.
You can tell a lot about a person by the way they grieve.
You can't save the world.
But you can try to save your friends. I should have been there for you. I love you, man.
I love you too.
See, I say sometimes Clay stresses me out, you know, when he just does whatever he wants, but then he does good scenes like this and it justifies it. Do you know what I mean?
Why are you ringing the doorbell?
I love you.
I love you too, kiddo.
We need to put Justin's picture up.
That's a great idea. Yeah, well, take some pictures.
I thought it was a waste of time. I found this.
Yeah, Clay was there before. Oh, last spring, yeah.
Let's pick him up.
You think you know the truth about Clay, and maybe you're right.
Usually you see CCTV, it's all Blu-ray, you can't even see the faces, but that was proper captured. Now, that is ground to bring him in. Do you know what I mean? If you dig through his texts as well, you're going to see one recently saying that he wants him dead. We've said that already, haven't we? It's like when you put it on the paper, you can't never get it away. They can always backtrack it, trace it, and see it. Now, obviously, it'll get pulled in and questioned. Now, do I believe it's Clay? No, I don't. I feel like he's too heavily involved in everything. But, like, you could say it's like keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to make it look like, you know, he's, like, really concerned when he's the killer, but he's not. Not in my opinion. I don't think he is. I just feel like Clay's proper sensitive and he needs to know everything and do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that if he was a killer, it'd be hardcore involved like he was today, trying to check it out, trying to defend Tony, put it on somebody else, you know, X, Y, and Z. So it's going to be interesting, obviously, to find out who the killer was. We didn't really see Tyler or Monte or Alex much, even Jess this episode, you know, from the last year. We got a little clip and he dropped in, probably like collectively, they was in the scene for like 1 minute each, but like, I do enjoy where they're going with their storylines. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're heavily focusing on Bryce, which is really good, but like their little stories are just brewing slowly in the background, you know, like just a little bubbling, and you can always divert towards them and give you extra information as fillers, you know, for the episode. So like we could still got a lot of Tyler that we can do. We've got a lot of Jess, you know, with this with these people that are protested, you know, at the funeral. She didn't want that to happen, and you could go down a whole path of that and the aftermath and like everything that's going on and associated with that, which will be interesting to see, because there's got to be some sort of fallout from it, isn't there? What reaction are we going to get? And then obviously, like I say, we can go to the Monte and the storyline, obviously, about last episode with him with that guy. And like you can see as well, like this episode is a bit insecure when people keep saying that he loves Bryce. Oh, why are you saying that? No, well, do you know what I mean? That's because of obviously he's getting his back up of like what happened last episode, or maybe because he's confused about his sexuality, that he can't draw the line between like you can love someone and then you can love someone, like you're in love and want to be with them. Like, he's two different things. And obviously it seems like he's kind of stuck on that, so it's going to be interesting. But this episode, I didn't expect at all to get a Tony backstory, and I really enjoyed like what was being given to us. Now his parents have been deported and been sent back home. I don't know where they're from, like, but it's making me think, when he moved to the US then, did they not legally move there? I don't know, like, if you legally move there, can you get deported? Like, or you class as a standard citizen? So for example, I can't get deported out of the UK, but like, if I travelled over from another country and I had a visa for like 6 months and then it ran out, then I could probably get deported. Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a certain type of stay or what? So I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's accepted. I don't know how far back that story was that his parents got taken away. Do you know what I mean? He said did he say last summer or something? That is, so I'm just trying to figure out like if he's just content with like the way his life is right now. He's probably trying to save up money and stuff, but like the part where he stood with his little sister looking into the mirror and he was saying like all his family are around him, really like that scene. I actually really did like it. It was really good. I thought Tony had a good episode, and I thought Bryce had another good episode. I think he's having a really good season. All the story around Bryce is really good so far, in my personal opinion. I'm actually enjoying it. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Really interesting stuff, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying Bryce is not dead, but like, we've never really seen his actual face in an autopsy. Do you know what I mean? Nah, he's definitely dead. He's got to be. Like, but they're saying, did at some point in the episode, they say something like they're thinking Bryce was murdered. And it's like, well, surely he's definitely been murdered if it was a blunt to the back of the head. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a murder. Or manslaughter, for example. Because is murder not where, like, you plan? So if I plan to kill you, and then obviously I come to your house and kill you, then that's murder. But like, if I didn't plan to kill you, and like, I don't know, we was outside and you started a fight with me and I just threw like one punch and I knocked you out and you died, I didn't murder you. Like, I think that in the UK would be manslaughter, as in like it's not a planned death. You killed somebody by accident pretty much, or like, you know, it wasn't an intention of the actions that you done. So I think that if he was definitely hit on the back of the head, then, you know, I feel like that might have been manslaughter, but who knows, mate. I don't know what it could possibly be. You know, we're trying to narrow it down, and we threw out a few guesses, haven't we, on the channel here and there, trying to like see if we can see any trends or any reasons why people would do stuff. Now, I like how Justin is now saying it suggests that, is it too far-fetched that somebody in the inner circle, like people that we know, might have killed him? I think it'd be way more entertaining, in my personal opinion, if that was the case, just because it's more exciting then. You're like, whoa, do you know what I mean? Instead of it being, oh, it's him, if that makes sense. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Now, obviously, his story with his dad, that was pretty deep, this episode. How his dad was kind of like avoiding him, obviously, after what happened with Hannah and Jessica in the trial. It seems like he's becoming more distant. Now, I do like how he was painting up in the room with his mum, and they started having like a mother and son kind of like bonding session, and he slipped on the floor. That was it was a nice scene. I had me laughing, that one. I like as well that you know, he went and he trashed his dad's house after obviously seeing his dad in the shop or whatever, and he was speaking to his girlfriend, and she revealed where, you know, where he was living, and then he's gone back to that one after unsuccessfully last episode with Alex trashing the wrong house. He's gone and trashed the right one, and when he was saying he smashed stuff up, you can see that his mum was kind of smiling. I like the scene as well where he stood up for his mum in front of his grandfather. You know, he was absolutely disrespecting her. He really was. He was choosing Bryce's dad over his own like daughter, wasn't he, saying that she never treated him right and stuff, and Bryce stood up and defended her. I liked that scene as well. Now, I have no idea who's killed Bryce, and that is what's exciting. I think there's endless possibilities, but the story that we've been getting this season anyway is that he's not as big. Well, not that he's not been as bad, but like, he seems like he's trying to be on a redemption arc, and it seems like when he's at school, he's being a victim, and then it seems like the people that he may have hurt in the past, he's trying to rectify. Now, whether, you know, they accept it or not, he's still trying to show some sort of progression, so that it makes you think that, like, whoever's killed him have either got a vendetta from the first 2 seasons, or something's happened this season and it's going to be a lash out, like I said, and it'll just be like manslaughter where they've killed him not really intentionally. That's what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it was somebody that wanted him dead, then he would have killed him in the first 2 seasons. It would have made sense. Now, I feel like it might just be a rash thing in the moment, and I still feel like it, I don't know, it could be Monty at some sort of point. I'm still going to sway on them with it in the close. I know it's his best mate and stuff, but he's getting his back up here and there, he's getting all emotional, and do you know what I mean? He might have found out, Bryce, like, about his sexuality or something, and he might have just got into an argument. We know how fast he lashes out, don't we? He's quick, you know, boom, he just reacts, and like, he may have done something and then be like, oh shit, what's just happened? Do you know what I'm saying? So do you know what, there's loads of information still yet to be revealed. Like I said, Clay looks like he's going to get pulled in next episode. You have got the tapes of him pulling the gun on Bryce last season, and then obviously Justin talked him down to not do it. Now, that's going to be really interesting, because like I said, I feel like they're going to go and dig up a bit more evidence from the present now. Maybe look at his phone, his computer, his text. They might pry out some information about Tyler, you know. How is Clay going to react under pressure? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, once you get in that police environment, you never know what you're going to be spilling, so it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to find out. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please smash that, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.